So let's start. Okay, because it's about 5 minutes. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. Emir, I ask you for beneficial knowledge, goodly provision, and acceptable deeds. Dear ladies and gentlemen, my dear IWISTER audience, Assalamu alaikum. Here is Tabassum to welcome you all at IWISTER STEM Café. First of all, I would like to give you a brief introduction of IWISTER Pakistan organization. IWISTER Pakistan is a women-led initiative in the USA that fosters an inclusive and equitable STEM environment in Pakistan. It provides a platform for women professionals in STEM to come together and connect with each other, share their experiences, learn and grow in their respective fields. This initiative will also provide a platform for male STEM professionals to share their knowledge and experience with young generation and to mentor and support them for their development. We have several plans and agendas for IWISTER Pakistan as an organization. However, we are starting with the IWISTER STEM Café. We designed STEM Café to cover the STEM research, innovation, invention, and entrepreneurship. These are basically many topics for discussion. Therefore, we organize monthly STEM Café to cover the different topics from laboratory research to industry and then corporation. We would welcome several field experts, industry scientists, entrepreneurs, and experts from entrepreneurship and corporate innovation centers. Our purpose is to make IWISTER Pakistan through helping, teaching, and training programs for young researchers, STEM faculty, and audit teams for Pakistani universities. I will not take your longer time, and I'm also excited to introduce you today's cafe plan. As you know, IWISTER Pakistan focus is STEM, STEM. Today, we will talk about the importance of STEM in our society. We have our STEM Café sitting with IWISTER mentor, Dr. Mubashir Hussain Rahmani. He would speak about the importance of STEM for all. Our second mentor is Dr. Komal Saleem. She would speak about the importance of STEM education for women. At the end, I will brief you about STEM business and STEM entrepreneurship. You guys as a visitor audience can participate in the discussion if you have some points to bring up. Let's welcome our first speaker, Dr. Mubashir Hussain Rahmani. Is over to you, Dr. Mubashir.
Yes, thank you so much. Can you allow me to share my screen, please?
Okay, I guess you can share now.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so thank you so much for inviting me for this first cafe, IWISTER Cafe. So the topic of my today's talk is about the importance of STEM for all. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And before further proceeding, I just want to give you a very quick overview about myself. As you know, my name is Mubashir Hussain Rahmani, and I'm a lecturer in the Department of Computer Science at Edmunster Technological University, Ireland. And my area of expertise in computer science, particularly on cybersecurity, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, future communication networks, 4G, 5G, etc. So basically, when we talk about STEM, so the teachings and the STEM education starts from the very beginning, from the primary education to secondary, and it goes to higher education sector. In STEM, when we talk about STEM, we try to tackle big challenges of the society, of the environment. For example, in STEM, our purpose is to work together and bring together people from different fields of science and technology, expertise in engineering and mathematics, and combine their skills and efforts to solve the problems that we face today, or the problems that we will be facing in the larger context. For example, we have the problem of climate change. Then this problem can be addressed with the help of collaborative efforts of researchers and scientists and engineers and mathematicians in different fields of in their different fields. Similarly, when we try to understand the building blocks of universe, we need to work together, and it comes under the domain of STEM. Similarly, when we talk about protecting our critical infrastructure, such as power utilities, electrical grid, or water transportation systems. So we need to talk about cyber physical systems, and that cyber physical system is linked together with the computer networks, and we need to protect it from attacks, from cyber attacks. So again, it requires the knowledge from different disciplines of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And there are some vision problems caused by the degeneration of retina, which affects almost 200 people around worldwide. So we need to treat that problem. And similarly, we need to design the future vaccines and all these things. And these are the few examples where the people from different disciplines of STEM come together and try to solve big challenges. So before further proceeding, just to give you a very quick intro or very small definitions of science. So science is basically, with the help of science, we try to generate new knowledge. We try to increase new knowledge and contribute to the advancement of the knowledge. And we try to, discover from facts using certain methods in a systematic and organized way, and try to understand how the universe works, how the natural phenomena occur. So broadly speaking, we have two categories of science. We have natural sciences and we have social sciences. In natural sciences, we try to focus on naturally occurring phenomena and objects, and it ranges from chemical sciences, physical sciences, life sciences, and biological sciences. And we try to focus on objects, bigger objects like sun, moon, universe, and to the very minor objects which can only be seen with the help of a microscope. So it has a very broad spectrum. Similarly, in social sciences, we focus on the study of people and collections of people. So we talk about psychology, sociology, organizational sciences, and economics. So when we talk about STEM, sometimes we do not consider social sciences, but some people also consider a few aspects of the social sciences in STEM. But in general, in science, we try to create knowledge and try to contribute to the advancement of human knowledge. When we talk about technology, so technology is the application of that scientific knowledge and that try to change and manipulate the human environment and bring prosperity to the human life. So technology is about the application of scientific knowledge. And when we talk about engineering, so engineering is the use of scientific principles to design and build machines, structures, other items, including bridges, tunnels, roads, vehicles, and buildings. And finally, when we talk about mathematics, so mathematics is a very broad and diverse subject. And with the help of mathematics, we try to model, analyze, and understand several applications in the physical and biological sciences, engineering, management. It has various applications. So this is just a quick introduction about STEM, what it stands for, and how we can differentiate among these different terms. Now, when we talk about, let me give you some concrete examples how STEM is important for all of us and how it is contributing to our lives. So the first example is COVID-19 research. So we all know that all the humanity has suffered a lot about this COVID-19 research, COVID-19 virus, and millions of people were affected, countries were locked down. So when we look at the COVID-19 research, we can find that we have different vaccines to cure COVID-19. We have Pfizer BioNTech, and we have Oxford, AstraZeneca, COVID-19 vaccine. These are two of the famous vaccines. And these vaccines were not reported in social media. These vaccines were reported in scientific research articles, and those scientific research articles are the backbone of STEM research. Whatever researchers and scientists do, they try to publish it in a very concrete way, in a very reputable scientific venues. And here, as you can see, the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, their results were reported in the Nature journal, which is one of the prestigious journal in the domain of science. Similarly, we have Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine results were reported in the Lancet journal, and it is again one of the prestigious journal in the domain of biological sciences and vaccination. So, researchers from STEM, not only just on the biological sciences, but from the mathematical sciences and other areas, they contribute together, and then they were able to publish these highly reputable research which directly impacted on the lives of millions of people. So here is just the screenshot of the Nature article for the COVID-19 vaccine, and this is another screenshot from the Lancet journal. So these are the actual sources of the STEM research, high-level STEM research, which we need to refer. If we try to understand the importance of STEM and how STEM researchers are contributing to the benefit of the humanity, we need to look and read these good quality scientific articles. Now, just see, look at the structure of the DNA, double helix. In 1953, James D. Watson and Francis Crick published a one-page article in the Nature journal, and it shows a diagram about the structure of the DNA, double helix. And this one single-page research paper changed the world of biology, and it opens new avenues. And based upon their research, Watson, Crick, and Maurice Wilkins won the Nobel Prize in 1962 in physiology or medicine for their discoveries concerning the molecular structure of nucleic acid and significance for information transfer in living material. So these STEM researchers, they collaborated together, and they perform a very high-level research and were able to publish in top quality journals. Similarly, you may have heard about Pakistan's 10 billion tree tsunami project. So this project was basically supported by the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and it was the response to the climate change and ozone layer depletion. And remember that this ozone layer hole, Antarctic ozone hole, was discovered by Josie Farman and Brian Gardiner and Jonathan Shanklin in 1985. And again, it was published in the Nature journal. Similarly, here we are now using communication networks. So the father of information theory is basically Claude E. Shannon, and he wrote one of the pioneering research articles in Bell Systems Technical Journal in 1948 on the mathematical theory of communication. Means he provided the foundations of communication with the help of mathematics. And later on, people, engineers, other scientists in different domains try to build their communication system on top of this mathematical, formulation. He provided, the basic formula for the capacity, means how much information can be transferred through a communication channel. and his paper was one of the highly cited papers in communication. So you can see he was working on pure mathematical side, information side, and the application ranges from communication networks to computer networks and mobile communication networks, satellite communication networks, etc., etc. This is another work by one of the researchers at LSC at CERN, and they basically discovered the Higgs boson elementary particle, and their discovery was reported in Elsevier Physics Letter B journal. It is one of the best journals. So you can see this is one of the biggest discoveries, greatest discoveries in science. You may have talked about antibodies. So again, the discovery of antibodies was reported in the research paper published in 1975 in Nature journal. And based on this, few researchers were able to receive Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1984. So they were focusing on the theories concerning the specificity in the development and control of the immune system. And right now we are using internet, and this internet is basically a federated system. There are different small networks that are combined together to form a big network, and this big network is known as internet. So when we communicate, there are certain protocols that are working behind the internet, and the most powerful, the basic protocol is TCP/IP protocol set, and it was developed by Winton G. Cerf and Bob Kahn, and they are recognized as the father of internet. And where they reported their research, they reported their research in IEEE Transactions on Communications in 1974 and Elsevier Computer Networks Journal in 1983. So you can see whatever they are doing research in the STEM area, they are reporting it in good scientific venues. We use normally, domain name system over internet. For example, we write different website name like www.dawn.com or New York Times, nytimes.com or geotv.com. So these are basically the names of the websites that we write on internet, browsers. So this is known as domain name system. In reality, we have the number system that we use to identify computers over the internet. But people cannot remember those different number systems, dotted decimal notation. So in order to facilitate the normal public, we use this DNN system, and this DNS system was basically proposed by Professor Paul Mokapetras, and again this research was published in ACM SIGCOMM Computer Communication Review Journal in 1995. So the purpose of showing you and telling you about all these discoveries in different areas of science and technology and engineering is that if we want to create an impact to the society, first we need to understand where that research is being published or has been published. So we need to identify in which domain we want to work. For example, if you want to work on physical sciences or chemical sciences or computer science, we need to identify what are the top venues that are highly reputable in the scientific community, and then try to read those scientific inventions, research articles, and this will build our capacity to understand how the research has been conducted, or what are the open challenges and issues in a particular domain. So here, just to give you an example, when you look at the physics, the area of physics, you will find that in the area of physics, the large proportion of Nobel Prize winning research was published, almost 50% was published in 4 big journals in the domain of physics. That is Physical Review Letters, Astronomical Journal, Science, and Nature. And you can see the percentage. And it clearly shows that if you want to perform some Nobel Prize winning research, you need to not only read the high quality scientific research, but you also need to report your research in these top venues, top quality scientific journals. And here, as you can see, this is the data from 1995 to 2017. And you can see 50% of the Nobel Prize award-winning research were published in these 4 journals. So if you are working in the area of physics, and if you are a physicist, you need to read these journals, the scientific discoveries, and research articles published in those journals. And definitely, it is not the case that if you publish here, you will win the Nobel Prize. But you will understand the capacity. You will understand the problem that the scientific community is facing. So here I just want to conclude my talk, and I just want to share you that we discuss about STEM, the importance of STEM, and STEM, different definitions, terms related to STEM, and I mentioned you few of the applications or scientific discoveries or inventions that directly impacted on the life of the human being. So thank you very much, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Okay, anyone can ask question, please. If you have question, you can write in chat box as well. Okay, if there is no more question, then we can move towards Dr. Komal Sleen, and she will speak about the importance of women in STEM study, STEM research, and STEM innovation. It's okay for you to share your screen, Dr. Komal?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, please share.
So you can see the presentation mode.
Yeah, it's a presentation mode. You can see, you can use slideshow mode.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
So, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good morning to those who are joining from US, and to those, good evening to those who are joining from Pakistan. I am Komal Sleen from Pakistan, but currently I am working as a stem cell biologist at SUNY State University of New York, Buffalo. So today I will talk about the importance of women empowerment in STEM, or the importance of STEM education for the women, like how women can participate, or what's their importance in the STEM educations. So first of all, I will talk about that what are the main importance of women empowerment in STEM. So I can start from the that it is evidence from the dark matter in the universe that elements radium and polonium and the double, as Dr. Mubashir already explained, that double helical structure of DNA. So what do all these discoveries have in common? So they were all made by women, and so the women's like radium and polonium are discovered by Marie Curie, and double helix structure was discovered by Franklin. So if we see from the recent data, most of the organizations publish a lot of data for the women who are working in the STEM field, and history also shows that women have been contributing to science and technologies, engineering and mathematics throughout the history. So women were responsible even working in the agriculture and food gathering, making them some of the world first farmers. Like women have specific role as a scientist, as a being like agriculture or farmers. So they are well known in the empowerment, like in the STEM field. But being a woman in STEM is not without its challenges, not being allowed to work, because most of the women are not allowed to work after they are in the STEM field. Like they get educations, early educations, then secondary, and they continue. But after completing, most of them, they are facing some problems, because there are a lot of problems for the women as compared to men. One of them is the gender gap, because society don't allow women, even in the developed country like Australia and US, because according to the research published in 2020, Australia shows that only 47% of women are working in the, like they have educations in the, but they quit after getting education. So main problem is to how to keep the women in working in the STEM field. They get educations, but to keep on that track, that's the main problem. So in this slide, it is shown that this is based like 2020 research-based data. So they published that girls and women are systematically tracked away from science and mathematics throughout their educations by limiting their access, preparations, and opportunities. Because as compared to men, women have less access sometimes. They have opportunities, but they have to face many challenges to get into field and stay in the field. So according to this statistic, for the women in STEM, women make up only 28% of workforce in the STEM, and men vastly outnumber women's majority in STEM field in the college. The gender gaps are particularly high in some of the fastest growing and highest paid jobs of the future, like computers, science, and technology. From this graph published in this research, they showed that only 46% of the women are in the biological science. In the chemistry and material science, only 40%, computer and mathematics 25%, and engineering and architect 16.5%. This is the data based on the women who are working, like staying in the STEM field, as it continues to work in STEM as a like job. But most of the women don't have opportunity to work in. So we can say that according to this database, we can say that women are facing the leaky pipes, like from the graduation of degrees to reaching the workplace. Like they, what can I say that, like if the society treats the women, like stop treating the women like the side player, if they treat the women like a key players, then we can fill these leaky pipes. Because how we can fill these leaky pipes? By working on the action-oriented definitive mechanisms to bring the women in the workplace into the leadership and into enhance the STEM educations. So how we can encourage them? So we can encourage the women to keep in the STEM fields by making the platforms like IWISTER. We can, through these platforms, we can enhance or encourage the working, like we can encourage the women to stay in the field, even they face challenges. So where the woman stands in educations. According to the American Association of University for Women, they educate that we can increase or we can keep the women to work in the STEM fields by increasing support for them and to protect protections of programs that meet the needs of girls and women in elementary, secondary, and post-secondary education, including a strong promotion of science, technology, engineering, and maths education. So how we can, through this, we can explain that how we can promote. Nowadays, there are a number of committees, there are a number of programs, there are a number of platforms or organizations who are working for the STEM educations for the women. So by reducing the barriers in STEM is a step towards advancing gender equity and increasing global competitiveness. STEM occupations are projected to grow by 10 to 5% over the 20 to 2030 decades, compared to 7.5% for non-STEM jobs. Computer and information technology occupation in particular are estimated to grow by 30% over the same period. The supply of new workers in these fields is struggling to match demand, and women remain severely underrepresented. So one of the major problem is for women is also they are underrepresented. So what is the main or underlying cause for the underrepresentations for women to be staying or being in the STEM education is just making the there is a women are treated as a biased. Society treat the women as a bias. There is a gender gap, gender equity. Women are facing a lot of problems as compared to men. That's why they have even they get their education in the STEM field. There are a number of women I know from I am dealing with. They are software engineers, they are mechanical engineers, chemical engineers in every field, even from the Pakistan, which is underdeveloping country, not a developed country, like US and Australia. So US and Australia also even report that women who get the education in STEM fields, they are hesitating to be staying in the STEM field. So Pakistan is even underdeveloped country. So women in Pakistan, you can imagine that how they are facing such barriers to stay in the STEM educations. So we must break the bias for the women, and we should stop treating women as a side players. How we overcome this problem of biased treatment for the women, we should treat them as a key player in the society. Then we can keep them and encourage them to be staying in the STEM field. So if we see about how we can keep them in the, if we keep the women in the STEM educations, there is a bright future for the women in STEM. Nowadays, there is special day for women who are working in the STEM field. 11 of February is the World Day for the women who are working in the STEM education or STEM field. The March is Women's Day, globally presented. Everyone, World Day is a World Day for women, March. But why February is the special day for the women who are working in the STEM? Because such organizations, platforms want to focus to give women a chance, opportunity to work in the field of STEM. So how they are working in, they just give them opportunities, giving them the they can make job opportunities for them. So in this way, we can stop the such type of barriers for the women who are facing challenges in this field. So STEM is something that should be accessible to all. So remember to put your letter in STEM and celebrate women in STEM. So according to the Mind Research Institute, which is a specific organization, just like IWISTER is a start for the women's, they say that we need to talk about how we can amplify organizations who are doing awesome work to uplift women in STEM, and what we can do as individuals to use our skill setup to help them to do work that they are doing. It's not about just recruiting women, it's also about creating a space in the workplace, within clubs, within institutions, and within universities to support women throughout their journey. So my point of view about importance of women in education is that if we focus on how, if every woman can focus on how their skills and talents can directly impact their community and those around them. So once they think like that, so they have a clear vision and right mentors in their corners, then nothing can stop you to whatever you want to do in any field like science, technology, engineering, mathematics. They can stay and they can work for the others. They can mentorship. They can create opportunities. They can help each other in a way, being a woman, helping the other woman. Okay, thank you very much.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Dr. Komal.
Thank you.
And any comment, Dr. Mubashir?
No, everything is fine. Thank you so much, Dr. Komal, for this presentation.
Thank you.
And any question from audience? Sure. Okay, Dr. Rabia, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Komal, for your views and useful information about women in STEM. I was just thinking that there is no doubt that women are very capable and they have proved their capabilities in every field of science, including STEM. But it's true that their representation in the practical fields is low as compared to men. And I, being a mother and a working woman, I totally understand there are so many responsibilities from the family on the women, that why they are maybe somehow they are restricting them from showing their full potential in the field of STEM. So I was just thinking that although we believe in gender equality, but if we compete, if we show the competition with the men in the fields, then if it's a fair competition, I think there should be some relaxation to the women in cases like some deadlines in the professional life. So there should be some relaxation to them because they have to meet the extra needs of their family. They have extra responsibilities. So I think using this forum, we should suggest some kind of ideas that they can facilitate women, that women can work with the men in the professional life, but they can also manage their family responsibilities. So I think it is not fair enough to give the same deadline of a task to the men in an organization and women, because men normally do not have to meet the family requirements. So there should be some suggestions to the that we can, if we can introduce in the professional life, we can introduce to the universities or working place, that to be fair enough, because giving a same deadline for a project to a man employee and a woman employee is not fair. So what do you think? Can we introduce such kind of suggestions? So maybe the work environment for the women can be more feasible. They can better represent in the field of science and STEM fields. Maybe they can perform better.
Dr. Komal?
Yes.
Are you able to answer this question? Yeah, sure. Please.
Yes, I can answer this question. Yes, her question is right in the way that women have a lot of responsibility as compared to men. But it is it is not just like that. Men also have responsibilities outside the home. If woman has a responsibility inside the home, man also has. So there is nothing like that. But still, I have a very simple answer to this question is that women can do a lot even by staying at home. Like nowadays, freelancing, you see, people are doing freelancing, staying at home, doing online work, a very good work by staying at home.
Yes, I know.
You know about people's working in the statistic fields like biostatistic. They are working from home by staying at home, and nowadays for every field people can do freelancing by staying at home. You see,
yes, I know
in the time period of COVID, when everyone is suffering, not only the women, men are also suffering. They also stay at home. So how everyone survive?
But I think women have to cook and take care of the family, and the men were only enjoying the facilities.
Men are only enjoying. So men also bring food to the table. Who bring food to the table? So they have also the responsibility. I am not thanking you in this that
yes, it's
you are right that women have a lot of problems. Women face a lot of problem in the STEM education, in the STEM field, but it is not like that women should be given some relaxations. If a job has certain specific limitations, like from 9 to 5 you have job, so it is not acceptable that men can do from 9 to 5 and women can do only 9 to 12 or 9 to 2.
No, actually my point was that maybe collectively we can find out the reasons why they are lacking in the practical field, and maybe we can make some suggestions, and by using the IWISTER forum we can put forth those suggestions to some organization, and maybe in the future they can be the work environment can be more accommodating for the women. I know it's not possible right now that I go to my university and ask them to extend my deadlines just because I'm a woman, because it's by my idea is just by using this form, maybe we can compile some suggestions, some tips that can make them easy, make the women to meet their deadlines, to complete their task, and they can facilitate them so that more and more women come in the STEM field and they don't quit the job after getting degree. This is just
one of the very practical problem for the women to stay in science is also that if they are not getting a very good high salary job in their field, they just go for the alternate job, like a person who is doing MSc or MS in biochemistry. If she is not getting a good job, she will go for an alternate job doing some school job. I know personally many of the women, many of my friends who even done like software engineering, MS, even MS. Instead of going for the PhD or for the higher studies, they just go the simple way in Pakistan for the women, they just go for the teaching job. It is good that they are going for the teaching job, but if they are getting the STEM education, they should follow for that. They have to go for the higher educations.
Yes, actually, I totally agree. But unemployment is the biggest problem in Pakistan. I think unemployment is the reason that why, there are a lot of unemployed PhDs in Pakistan. Maybe that's why it has demotivated the students and they just go for the jobs instead of pursuing higher studies. That can be the reason.
Yes.
Okay, here I want to interrupt. I'm sorry for that. That's really a useful discussion. But I have experience from, I think from Asia and here in USA as well. And currently I'm working in industry. There is a type that mostly use work-life balance. Work-life balance is really important for every person, not just women, not just men. For example, if a woman has some kids, so she can do a part of work from home, and then she can present some of work from industry and at the site. So there is some relaxation for the babies. And for example, some women have babies and some are pregnant, and they can get some privilege by using a work-life balance. And this society, particularly in USA, what I observed, because when I was a postdoctor, that was a hectic job. Because I would say, it depends on me just to need to complete my project at any cost, whatever I am spending my weekend, weekdays. It was just a task, like I need to complete my project. But now I'm working on job. In the job, there is some rules on the work-life balance. So yes, there are some strategy about work-life balance to manage family and also work. So Dr. Rabia's point is good in somehow, either because a mother, if we suppose I'm also a mother and I am also managing my home duties as well. So because apart from that, I am a scientist and I am a competitive person. And for example, in my colleagues, I do compete by all means. But yes, the organization provide me some facilities. Like they told me, okay, fine, if you can't do this work on this weekend, you can give us in next weekend. But I found from Dr. Rabia comments that is related to this one. So I really agreed with this point. Yes, there should be for women, because if someone is mother, it doesn't mean it has no right to make a brilliant scientist or progress in her profession. So yes, I do agree, and definitely there would be some point, and we can raise such discussion in STEM Café, because the word used, a cafe, we can speak about anything. We are not bound. Anyone can share their opinion. Anyone else, please, if you have some questions.
We can also ask audience about to answer this question. Like anyone can give suggestion about these questions.
Yes, that's why it's a cafe, because everyone see a STEM culture, particularly how they are progressing, how they are facing problem, our society. So, sometimes if girl is unmarried, she has pressure to be married. If girl got married, then she has pressure to be a mother. And if she is get one child, and there should be another. So yes, in our Pakistani culture, these kind of things are, but we have to manage. And we should get some support from organization, from university. There should be some daycare and some good quality daycare where a professor or some lecturer, they can feel free when they work some deliver some lecture. So yes, these kind of facilities should be provided for women. I do agree. Yes, anyone else?
As compared to women, as compared to men, women are experiencing STEM in their daily life, like whether it is at work, studies, or everyday life. Women are experiencing more STEM as compared to the men. Yes, she is right.
Actually, one thing what I found the difference between man nature and a woman nature, because many things are God make us a difference, right? Whatever the difference is, we are not able to compete them in to get some equality. हमारा बराबरी का तो कभी कोई सवाल ही नहीं है कि हम करें, क्योंकि we are both a different gender and we have different duties, and some duties are essential and crucial for women, and some are for men. So,
yes,
but yes, there are some mindset that for STM research. So my point always to speak about the women should be more progressive in STM to bring more innovation, because the science can't distinguish the gender.
Yes,
because the innovation come from men invention or woman invention. So we should provide equal opportunity for the STM research, innovation towards study, to bring more solution towards the problems what we have in our society. That's yes, my point.
Yes, we can overcome this barrier by encouraging the women and embrace equity in the STEM educations for the women. But
yes,
STEM
for Pakistan particularly, I also speak about the men in STEM as well, because the reason is because I don't feel our STEM education is more modernized and more progressive in Pakistan as well. That's why we kept 25% quota at this organization to teach our men young researchers. And also we are worried about their future as well, because my point is the invention definitely come from mind, talent, and talent is everywhere. Talent is gender. Yes, next hand raise is from Manaza. Yes, unmute yourself, please, and speak.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Manaza. I'm doing PhD from Padma Women University. I have few suggestions regarding STEM program, because as being a PhD candidate, I'm interested in the research field, and I wanted to be progressive, not regarding me, but also my fellow students also. So I guess there should be a platform at every university, not only the thing I have heard or I am experiencing is that majorly the major focus is on the main universities. Medium universities, they don't have that much of awareness when it comes to STEM. I mean, in my lab, or if I can relate to that on a daily basis, that we have produced so much theses that are being part of the tables and all the cabinets, but those theses are just there for the sake of papers and stuff like that. They're not progressively educating the scientists when it comes to the scientific fields. So I guess the lack of awareness regarding the STEM research is the major key. If we know that what are the major things that the international world is competing, what are the major solutions that international world is going for, we can do the same in our limited resources, or even we can train our minds, our juniors regarding that, so that there is if we are competing with that things, like I don't think that majority of the people or my juniors know about the data science or stuff like that, and everything is transferring towards the AI techniques. So these are the basic things. We are just there to just producing the MS scholars, producing the bachelor's degrees, but for as my understanding, these are just merely papers, and they are not training the mind critically. So I guess there should be a platform for that we know where we are standing after 4 years, after 5 years of our degree. We are still confused after completing our degree. Okay, where to go? Okay, how to earn the money? Okay, fine. So that's the basic reason for demoralizing all the PhDs candidate, because we are focusing for the sake of money, because obviously we don't think ahead of our degree. Once we are enrolled, we are just enrolled for the sake of, not for the sake of being scientists, but for the sake of money is also a basic thing. I can agree that, but I guess the critical thinking is missing, that where should we invest our energy? And there is no specific professors that are guiding us in that regard. So I guess there should be a platform at every university or at every stage that can help us to focus and to to do all the research and to confine our energy to a specific topic that are being welcome in the world, in the first world country at the same time. So I guess that's my suggestion regarding that. You guys can better guide me, because I'm just giving my opinion regarding that.
Thank you very much, Manaza, for your feedback. May I reply to her?
Sure.
Absolutely, sure.
Okay, so can you tell me precisely in which area you are working on?
I'm currently working on the extreme enzymes, and I'm finding a solution for cleaning the pollution. So basic target is sustainable pollution.
Okay, so basically, you raised the correct point. We first need to, basically in Pakistan, we are going anti-science. Our policies are anti-science. And let me give you an example. In the international scientific community, we have, ranking of journals. We know the reputation of the journals. We know which are good journals, which are bad journals, how to classify those journals, and where we can find, top class research. In Pakistan, unfortunately, we have our own ranking system. We are not following the international ranking system that is being adopted or used around the globe, in US, in Canada, in other countries as well. So first, I can understand that when we are doing PhD in Pakistan, we have to follow, the rules that are governing, our environment. But for the time being, what we can do, for example, if you are working on pollution sciences, what you can do is first think about what are the top scientists in your area around the globe, not only in Pakistan. in around the globe. You can, find the list of the top ranked, scientists and researchers in your area. Then you try to ask yourself, what are the top journals in your area? You get the ranking. You can get those ranking from Clarivet, or you can look at some pioneering papers in your area and see who are the researchers, where the research teams are working, and then try to figure out what type of research they are doing, how they are formulating the problem, where they are publishing. And when you are start reading their research work and you understand where they are publishing, you will increase your capacity. Now that will be very great, but it requires a lot of effort and time, because let's say if you are publishing one article, let's say in the Lancet or in the Nature, it may require an effort of 4 years, 5 years, or even 10 years of research. And that cannot be possible during the PhD. But at least you will know and understand that this is the actual research that is being done at international level. And this is the level of research that ultimately I need to achieve. But in Pakistan, definitely you have to follow, for example, there's a criteria of 1 or 2 research papers published in impact factor journals or whatever categories you have to publish. So for the time being, you can, follow those rules to acquire your PhD degree, but always aim for the high quality, venues or high quality research that and follow those researchers which are in your area. So if we ourselves first try to answer where the top quality research published, or what are the top quality scientists in our area, and how they tackle any problem, how they propose solutions, how they use mathematics to formulate the problem, or which research methodology they use, in this manner we can overcome this area. And definitely at the policy level, at the government level, at university level, there's a need to follow the suggestion that you mentioned, that there should be some researchers or supervisors that should be guiding the students. And I know personally that there are some good researchers in different universities in Pakistan, but at a massive level, there is a lack. So very good suggestion. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much.
Okay, anyone else? Please open your mic and ask question. If you don't have question, then we can move on. Okay, so
I think we also have some questions.
I think Dr. Mubashir, I have a presentation, and then please listen and then you can leave. Thank you. Okay, so now I can share my screen. Okay, thank you so much. I really enjoyed a nice discussion about the importance of STEM. That's not, I think, interesting for me, and our audience also enjoying. So next, I would really talk about what are the main featured program for the IWISTER Pakistan, because IWISTER Pakistan is a US-based organization, and we have 4 main featured programs for the year of 2023 to 2024. First one is IWISTER STEM Entrepreneurship Program and Training. And second is Career Counseling and Visitor Acquisition. First and third one is International PhD, MS Admission and Scholarship Programs related to guidelines. And fourth one is IWISTER STEM Café. Basically, the first point is related to STEM entrepreneurship and kind of a STEM business, that we will provide some trainings. And for that training, maybe we would start after some, maybe middle of next year or end of next year. But other 3 programs, Career Counseling and Visitor Acquisition, because these our career counseling is quite famous and well known in Pakistan because everyone uses the word career counseling. So what's the difference would be in this program to visitor acquisition, as other way we can say talent acquisition. Talent acquisition, basically the word mostly used in North America or some, even now is working in UAE because they hire the people from third party. We will provide this opportunity to our STM researchers to get their CVs and evaluate them, and if they are capable, and we can transfer to our third party, like some industry or some other agencies, those check, background check, and then hire the people. So, and third program is International PhD and MS admission program. IWISTER Pakistan has some collaboration with different universities here in USA, and we will invite from some of their admission department to directly guide our students, and particularly Pakistani STM researcher. Because here, what I found is in statistics, I found very few Pakistani STM students, but as compared to Indian or other UAE people. So I really wish to make more generalized and more easy for the people, for the students, those are working and getting study in even in South Punjab or even in KPK or some far area, because we mostly found federal areas, people come here and also from Karachi and Lams and Nast, but they have not other students from universities like DIA Khan or another university is, I think that's also in South Punjab, Khaja Farid University, suppose I say. So they should have the equal opportunity to assess for finding their admission, because talent is everywhere. Talent has no boundaries. So this IWISTER Pakistan will provide opportunity and provide them training to get scholarship and give them awareness, because awareness is really important. They have talent, they can read, they can write, they can research. They are more competent, but they don't have relevant information. That's why they are lacking. So other one is IWISTER Café, STM Café. In this way, this cafe is not has not designed just for students. It also has designed for senior faculty research members as well. Because in this way, there will be some open discussion relevant to different areas, from laboratory research to industrial research, and further for entrepreneurship and corporation. Okay, where you can find us, basically we have IWISTER Pakistan LinkedIn page. Please follow and join us and keep yourself updated relevant to activities. And second one is our Facebook page that's we recently created. And there would be, you guys can ask questions, you can upload your CVs, you can send messages, and our leadership team will deal this page and we will work on it. And third one is more important for you guys, suppose more than 200 people registered for today program, and due to some internet issue, they are unable to connect us. So please subscribe YouTube channel, and you will find recorded videos to know more about it and what's going on and what was the discussion happened in some STM Café or other programs. Okay, the point is why STM business is important. I studied a lot. I got training in last year, and I found the 5 major reasons why STM business is important. Basically, there are the 5 reasons. First one is driving innovation, because STM business is a key driver of innovation and invention that's essential for business to stay competitive in rapidly changing world. By leveraging scientific and technological advancement, and business can create new product, service, improve efficiency, and streamline the operation. And you can see there are several examples that if we compare our childhood to now, and we can find there is a lot of progress that happened. Like if I give you an example of a mobile handset, so in my childhood, there was some small Nokia set my father used to, and then now we have iPhone with several different features. We don't need a big computer, we can just use that one. And further is meeting the demand of the future. And STM is the only business that can meet the demand of the future. Because what we need today, so maybe after a few years, that will be a useless and our demands would be more higher, more modernized, more facile. So that STM business and STM research only can meet the demand. And next is improving decision making. Based on the demand, future demands, based on the requirement, based on the modernized life, so industry people take a decision, and that decision make them more profitable towards their STM business as well. Solving complex problem. Yes, only STM research is important and can solve the complex problem day by day. What we are doing in research, then definitely it will transfer to one day in the form of a business to solve some certain problems that we are having now. And last point is increasing the competitiveness. So as a global economy becomes more competitive, business that are able to leverage the STM will be better positioned to succeed. So STM skills are high in demand, and business that are able to attract and retain the talent with these skills to have the competitive advantage. So these are basically 5 reasons why STM business is important. Okay, so based on that, this importance, so IWISTER STM entrepreneurial mindset. So this organization basically has some mindset to do some STM entrepreneurial programs, because that basically believes that how we can sort out the problems with some facile and more amazing solution that happened in our world. So there would be some teaching program, and friendly speaking, no one is born as an entrepreneur. And anyone can be an entrepreneur. How? But by developing these 8 skills. First one, they should have capability of the critical thinking. Critical thinking basically are those thoughts in a particular field that other people don't think in that matters. And second is creativity and innovation. The mind should have some creative point. And how creativity comes basically, it doesn't mean if you're watching movies and making TikTok and then you say, oh, I don't have creativity, I don't have innovation. No, for STM, you have to do research, you have to do study, make yourself update about your field by reading science, nature, journals, and also some industry vlog, what's going on. And then you can make yourself more competitive towards the research. And third point is flexibility and adaptability. Here I would say, because I summarize this point in that way, that a person suppose is about, he or she saying that my research is just on the microscope, the microparticles or some maybe organic chemist. And he or she say, oh, it's not my field. I don't have interest to such things. But whenever we talk about the STM entrepreneurial program or some entrepreneurial mindset, then we should have some flexibility and adaptability to know about the other research, because I believe the PhD can do everything. He or she doesn't bound to do one type of research. They can make a broad view and to do more STM business if it's needed for their business. Next, fourth point is opportunity recognition. There's the ability, a person, STM researcher should have ability to recognize the opportunity if it's relevant to, and they should do some good communication. Communication doesn't mean, hi, how are you? What do you do? No, this is the meaning that how you're good in your presentation, how you can present what you're doing, what's your idea, what's the benefit could be for some industry or some next organization who could be willing for collaboration based on what you have idea and prototype. And future orientation. It means that you should know what you are doing and what could be the future of your research and how it would be more useful for future problems, how it can solve the problems, and how it's beneficial for definitely for humanity. And comfort with risk. Whenever we talk about the entrepreneur or some business, then definitely there is some profit and loss things happen. And your personality should capable to take such risk and adopt it. And for the 8th step should be initiative and self-reliance, because after doing so many research, making clear all the concepts relevant to your research, your prototypes, you should be more initiative and self-reliance, and you should be more confident. So that's why STEM researchers that adopt IWISTER entrepreneurship mindset would be capable to see the more opportunities and take the initiative and be successful in a variety of breakthrough technologies. Okay, so IWISTER STEM entrepreneurship program basically will revolve around 3 things. First one is idea development, prototype development, business model generation. All 3 points are interconnected with each other, because IWISTER STEM entrepreneurship program is streaming to teach their audience, their students, create, execute, engineer, sell, and earn. Because we want to see STEM researcher more independent, whatever this situation happened, either they're looking for job is not good for them or not relevant to their caliber, so they can do by themselves through create, execute, engineer, sell, and earn. Okay, the next point is what kind of a business can be. So first business is STEM education. That's really famous all over the world, including Pakistan. So in STEM education, the customer is, people say mostly consumer, students is consumer because they get something from organization or institute. But I would say that's the customer, because the customers, most of the time, customers don't know what's the quality of the things and we just buy it. But now I would recommend all students, don't be a customer, be a good customer and know what are you going to get your degree. Either is relevant to all the skill sets, that's the requirement of a degree. After getting a degree, would you able to get some relevant jobs? So our students should be more smart. And next is STEM actionable skills. That's related to first business. Because if students will get good education, good skill set, then they can sell their actionable skill and make themselves more independent. And further boost innovative STEM ideas, like if someone have ideas and prototype, they can sell their to industry and earn and make themselves independent. Innovative STEM programming. Basically here I use the word innovative STEM programming. The point is, because in even artificial intelligence, machine learning is using in all type of STEM research. So if someone is a good programmer, and he or she can be independent. And next one is STEM industry. Most of the industries are STEM because they are taking all the fields and making them solution and then further providing to their consumers. Okay, for example, if you have some idea and you have make a prototype, and how you can do some make your startup or start your industry. So first point is identify your specific needs. So you should have a specific idea and then make a prototype and then conduct research, market research. You should know all type of techno-economic, price, quality, and its stability relevant to your product. And then develop a business plan. If you have successfully done first 3 points, then it's not difficult for you to secure funding. You can apply for funding and you can get good funding and start your business. Further is a step after getting funding, you can build a team and test your product and make some partnership and strong brand and monitor and adjust with the passage of time. So starting business in the STEM industry can be challenging, But if you follow these step by step towards, it can make years, 2 years. It depends on how much you're going, your work so passionate or more in a more smart way. So you can start your business easily by following these points. Okay, here I give you an example. What is the type of, how can we create a prototype? Basically, this work I did at SUNY, there was some requirement because use ammonia as a hydrogen source. For that, I did some industrial work, and previously, if we see the example for the ammonia decomposition, so usually ruthenium-based catalysts used. But for that, we prepared ruthenium-free, and we overcome the cost issues, and also we prepared some method and we designed some methodology where we produce a material in grams, and we send out our materials to make to check as a prototype in the industry, and that was successful. And now I just think maybe someone told me they are making their own startup based on ammonia as a hydrogen source or RU-free catalyst. So that's all from my side, and thank you so much. And I am open for questions. So please ask questions if you have. Okay, Komal, please unmute yourself. Yes.
Okay. I have one suggestion. Nowadays in Pakistan, most of the people are using Twitter. So you must have to make a page on Twitter. I think most of them.
Yes, I have created Twitter page as well, but I think
Yes.
I didn't share with people, our audience. So I guess I have, and I will share that contact, because we just announced this organization in last few months, and most of the people maybe we don't know about us. So yes, I created, but it's not announced. So we should wind up our session, because if there is no question, what's going on in chat? Okay, I guess no one have question, or maybe because today's internet condition is rare in Pakistan, that's why we have very few audience. So thank you so much everyone for joining us. And thank you so much, Dr. Komal, Dr. Mubashir. And I'm grateful to have you all for this useful discussion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's end
Thank
this session. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you.